What is going on, guys? This is EK1 Gaming here, and today's video we're going to be taking a look at the SMG build that I've been using recently. A lot of people have been asking what build it is, etc. So I just wanted to do a newer video on the build and exactly what talents and what gear set I'm using, etc. This is really good for PvP and PvE, heroics, anything you want really. It's good because you get the armor, the bonus armor, and also it puts out a bit of DPS as well. So before we get into the video, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the little notification bell. And if you wasn't aware, we are running a PS5 giveaway. This is for a PS5 digital edition. We've got 5 days left, so on the 15th of December, we will be drawing the winner for that competition. Now, to enter that competition, all you have to become is a Patreon. In the link in the description below, click that, become a Patreon, and I will select one person to win the PS5 digital edition. Now, let's get straight into the video. You might have noticed this build because I have done a build video of this similar build before, called the SMG Shredder build. And it's pretty much the same, except now, of course, there's a few little slight tweaks you can make to make it a little bit more OP with the Firefly or Memento bug that's going around at the moment. So to start with, on this build, of course, I'm using 4-piece Hunter's Fury, and we'll go through what that means in just a second. The specialization is the Firewall. Now, this is open to you, really. This does not really impact the build that much. I prefer Firewall because I use the shield that gives you the extra damage, the Firewall shield. However, if you wanted more armor, for example, use the Gunner. If you wanted the, I don't know, the Pulse and the Underbarrel, then use the Technician, etc. So honestly, pick whatever one you want. Just, it's not going to make a huge difference as long as you've got like SMG damage maxed out and all that stuff as well. So the first thing I'm going to run is the Lady Death. This is going to be my primary weapon, and partly for the fact is when you're moving, you gain 4 stacks per second, or 8 stacks if sprinting, up to 32 stacks total. Each round fires consumed a stack, amplifying damage by 75%, and kills grant plus 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. You'll see when you kill someone, you move real fast, so it's good to just get around, move quick, and burst down NPCs, especially if you're always moving, because you're going to always have those stacks. Now, for a secondary, I just use a Tactical Vector, only because I really love the fire rate of this gun. I have measured on it as well, so the first half fires like an absolute beast. Then it slows down slightly, but you hardly really notice the slowdown, and of course you get more damage from it. So whatever you want really in the secondary spot, but I like to flick to this because it can really burst down fast. Ideally, I wouldn't have swap speed there either. Now, going into the mask, this is the Hunter's Fury mask. Now, let's tell you what all the pieces of Hunter's Fury do. You probably already know if you're watching this video, but we're going to go through it just in case there's new people that don't understand what this does. So if you have 2 pieces equipped, you get 15% shotgun damage and 15% SMG damage. Well, of course, this is relevant because we're running SMGs. Now, for 3 pieces, you get 20% armor on kill and 100% health on kill. So the 20% armor on kill really plays a big part in this because you're going to get your armor back. It's all about keeping armor high and also putting out good damage. And then when you put 4 pieces on, enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So the stack of damage there is incredible, and because you're using an SMG, you're going to be close to the targets, so hopefully you'll be able to proc some of these buffs while you're doing it. Now, the gloves, again, Hunter's Fury, but on the mask, all you're going to want to run is armor, crit damage, and a crit damage mod. They're not maxed out, as you can see. The reason for armor is we want to get to around 1.5 million armor. Around that kind of cap, 1.3, 1.5 is fine. So the gloves, Hunter's Fury gloves, and they are rolled for armor and crit damage. Not the highest crit damage mods, if you're asking me. You know, they're not really the highest crit damage attributes, sorry. And of course, optimization is pretty much out the question right now, unless you have millions of credits and stuff like that to use. However, armor, crit damage on these as well. The holster, Hunter's Fury. We're going to go with weapon damage, crit damage. It's a god roll piece there. Knee pads, again, Hunter's Fury. Armor, crit damage. Again, the crit damage is low on these, so they could do with being a little bit better. So on the backpack, of course, we're running the Memento backpack. And this is before the bug, so we're not just running this because there's a bug with it. However, you know, the bug does help this a lot. So to get the Memento backpack now, you just have to set your target loot to backpacks and go and farm for it in the open loot pool. It was previously linked to the last season pass where you could get it. I believe it was at level 90, I want to say. I don't know, I might be wrong on that one. But yeah, it was in the last season pass, but now it's in the open loot pool. So basically what this does is kill confirmed. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting trophies provide both a short and a long-term buff. The first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped and lasts 10 seconds. So the more reds you've got, you'll get plus 5% weapon damage per red. So you can see the reds, blues and yellows here. The more blues you get, you got 10% bonus armor. So here I'll get like 40%. So 5% skill efficiency. Again, I've only got one yellow. So it doesn't really make that much of a difference for the skill efficiency. However, you know, it's a bonus. It's a bonus. So for every trophy collected, you gain an additional 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regen for 300 seconds. Maximum of 30 stacks. Basically, all you're going to do is kill things, pick up the orange beam, you'll get a long-term buff which lasts 5 minutes. And also, every time you pick up anything, you'll get the bonus armor, bonus weapon damage, etc. So it's really good backpack to use. It's probably one of the most used backpacks out there, apart from the Eclipse, until that gets fixed. However, the Memento really is a must-have if you haven't got it already. Now, on the chest piece, I am running a Sokolov chest piece for the SMG damage. Now, if you're going to run this with a shotgun, you can run it with a shotgun. Make sure you've got like 0 Fs or whatever you want on. Something like that with shotgun damage. You know, like Badger Tough, basically. You can run any kind of anything with shotgun or SMG or whatever gun you're using. So on the chest piece, I've got weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and a crit damage mod. It was pretty high rolled, which is very rare for me to get some good gear like that, but pretty high rolled. And then I've got Intimidate on there. Now the reason I'm using Intimidate is because while you have bonus armor, which means every time you pick up an orange emblem on the ground and a trophy on the ground with the backpack, it gives you bonus armor, you amplify your total weapon damage by 35% to enemies within 10 meters. So if you're fighting a group of people, you're going to want this, because as soon as you drop one, pick up the trophy and you're going to get 35% more damage. That, as well as the damage from the Lady Death for moving around, etc. You are going to hit super hard with this build. And this is where it really comes into its own with the high armor and high DPS. Now, on the pistol, I do have a card 45, but I mean, you could use the custom, which gives you an extra skill tier, but rarely will I have that pistol out at all. So, I mean, pistol, do whatever you want, it doesn't really matter. Same as grenades, I don't really bother throwing grenades if I'm being honest. I probably should, but I actually don't. Now, with the skills, of course, we're going to go for a shield. Everybody has a shield. And we're going to go for the striker shield. This is unlocked with firewall only, so if you haven't got the firewall specialization, you can't get this shield. You would have to use the Crusader. So, the Striker Shield basically just gives you an 11% damage buff or damage bonus per enemy that's within your cone. So, if you don't know what the cone is, I'll quickly show you now. So, when I pop my shield, you see the cone on the ground? Like an orange line. So, that enemy there that's within will get more damage. So, it's really simple, easy to use. And it's pretty much a must-have, a shield, because you'll get shredded. Even with 5 million armor, you will still get hit hard in PvP especially and get dropped. Now, secondary, I use a decoy. But, of course, now with the Memento thing, everyone's going to be using Firefly or Seeker Mines. Now, a lot of people don't understand that Firefly, yes, that gives you the extra bonus armor. But so does Seeker Mines. So does the Hive. So does the decoy. So when you drop the decoy and you pop it, you'll see I get a bonus armor. So there's the bonus armor. 1 trophy collected. All that good stuff. So basically you can use whatever skill you want to use. But just make sure that if you're doing the bug, and I'm not saying for everyone to do this bug, but I went in the DZ and pretty much every single person is doing it right now. If you're going to do that, you can use any skill. Just on a normal basis, though, I just use a decoy anyway, just to drop the decoy so I can move around a little bit without being noticed in PvP. And in PvE, they kind of just focus on the decoy for that split second to get you out of trouble. So it's really handy to use. Now let's take a look at the stats. We'll just quickly go over the stats. I've only got 45.7 crit chance, 142.5 crit damage. That's on the Lady Death. You can't really change much of the Lady Death, so it is pretty much stuck around that number. 6% armor damage, and then the rest of it's really not that relevant to what we're doing. Now, if we go to the secondary weapon, again, I've got 41.7 crit chance and 147.5 crit damage. I'd have more crit chance on here, or crit damage, but obviously I've got that swap speed, so you're going to probably get that up higher, which is really good. But the build as it is now still hits hard. It still does what it has to do, especially PvE. PvP, you might have come across some issues if people are really got DPS-y builds. They'll still shred through your shield. You know what PvP is like. However, solo PvE or just team PvE, you can smash through heroics real quick and real easy. Including the summit, it's really easy to do. Just keep picking up those trophies on the ground and you will never die, because that bonus armor really does buff up your armor a lot. Now guys, I'm going to leave you with some more gameplay. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoyed this build video. Take care everybody, and I'll see you all next time. Let's go!
Retrieving contaminated gear.
We got a friendly down!
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks closed from here.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate.